We are already working, Audit 360 as a product, as a digital internal audit management solution, is working with more than 20 organizations, among which there are NBFIs and microfinance organizations. As a product, it is industry agnostic, it can work with any industry, but currently we are working with the financial industry. I'll just skip this. That was a video of our customers talking to you about what Audit 360 is all about. I can do that later, then I get to meet you in person. Some of our customers at different places. There's education institution in this, which is ICA. There's a retail company in this, which is Al Mizan. The rest of all are either microfinance companies or NBFIs. Can audit power your top line and bottom line? Many of you may not agree. We will go back to the argument that internal audit is all about maintaining the house in order. But let me take you through a different perspective altogether. So a business, like sailing, expects risks always. There's no business that is risk-free. And what actually helps you drive your business, in spite of the risk, is your internal audit. But today, internal audit, as something like the slide is trying to project, my marketing team has done something to portray that. It gives you breaking news on something that has happened 8 months, 9 months before in the timeline. Is that actually going to help you? You're getting to know about something that's happening in one of your branches, something that's happening in one area of business through the audit reports. After 9 months, does it actually help? By the time, there would have been a lot of financial loss that you've taken. There's a risk of reputational loss. There is also the risk of the regulator coming and pulling you up before even you could know it. So you have got to take charge of the situation, and there is nothing better than to bank on your internal audit to do that for you. So when we talk about digitalization of internal audits, in this conference also, if you do a word count, the most used words were artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain. We heard a lot about blockchain, big data, predictive analytics, robotic process automation. What does all this mean? At least for internal audit, what does all this mean? The internal auditor today is a digital being like you and me. He carries a smartphone in his hand. He uses the smartphone practically to do everything other than internal audit. For his core job, he's still depending on a paper and a pencil, at the max, a Microsoft Word, Excel, or PowerPoint, nothing beyond that. In that scenario, does these words mean anything to the internal audit department? In my opinion, no. In the morning, one of the elite panelists said about backcasting. 5 years later, this is where we would want to be. The internal audit has to work on all of these concepts. Yes, it will. It's a reality. It's going to happen. But for that to happen, is it enough that we wake up 5 years later? No. That's the answer. We have to start today by taking baby steps into digitalizing our internal audit process. That's by bringing in mobility, creating the data capture over digital platforms, bringing in the entire cycle of internal audit into the digital world. That's when you will have data that's being created, which can later be put onto predictive analytics. You can use big data on that, or whatever you want. But to start that, the baby steps have to be taken today, not later. So what I mean, start with smartphone. All of your auditors carry smartphones in their hands. Enable them to do the data capture using their smartphones. Take away the additional work that they are doing when they are doing the audit, that is to note down somewhere, then bring it into their computer or a laptop, putting it in, so twice the time going in data entry, then preparing a report out of that. That's the third time the effort is going. Why do you want to go through all that? Give them a simple mobile form, let them do the data entry directly into the digital world, then the software should take care of reporting and therefore real-time dashboarding. The auditor clicks submit somewhere in the country and you are able to get to know in your dashboard that yes, one more audit has been completed. That's where you have to get to. You can customize your reports, you can get into three-dimensional checklists. More importantly, the whole thing has to be configurable because we may all be working in the same industry, but the processes are different. So therefore, the checklist, which is the backbone of the audit, that has to be configurable. So look into something that allows you to configure the audit the way you want. And you ought to work with a product provider who's continuously bringing in digital improvement. Generally, in microfinance organizations or in NBFIs, the new trend is that the tech is being developed internally. Your core business is banking, and you're actually diverting your attention by going into tech development and all of that. There are tech companies who are working on innovation, who are working on research, who will enable you to get into the best that is available in the market. And they are future looking. You should actually be banking on those abilities in the market and not to spend time on that. Some of the audits that are possible to be done on the digital platform, this is not the be it and all. A digital platform, in my case, I would take the example of Audit 360, can handle volumes, huge volumes. Just for example, in the month of March, because of the financial year and closure in India, the Audit 360 platform did in that 1 month 168,000 audits. So that breaks down to basically 13 audits being submitted somewhere in India within 1 minute, every 1 minute. Or probably, if you were to break it down further, every 4.6 seconds, one audit being submitted somewhere in India. That's the kind of numbers that's possible. Why digitalize audit? Let's look at the bottom line first. You have a large audit team. They work day in and day out. In most cases, 6 days, 7 days a week. They are always on the move. They try to do the audits. We see only that part because from Monday to Friday they're doing the audit. But is that it? The weekend they try and catch up with whatever manual notes they have made. They put it into their laptop or a desktop. They try and come up with a report. So they're working almost all the time. If you can bring in efficiency at your auditor level, which a product like Audit 360 has proven, which if time permits, I'll take you through one of the case studies. We've been able to bring in 60% efficiency at the end of the auditor, which means if the auditor is delivering one audit today, he'll be able to do 2.2 audits tomorrow. One of our clients had a set of 2 auditors delivering 4 to 5 audits in a month. But after introducing Audit 360, they are today able to do 8 to 9 audits. That's the kind of efficiency at the auditor level that we are talking about. Then the manual effort that's being spent in coordinating with the auditors, making them calls, have you done your job today? Are you working today? Have you gone to your audit location? Have you started your audit? Because none of this is visible anywhere. But that goes away the moment you are able to open a dashboard and see, okay, I have 20 auditors, 30 of them have started their day, 8 of them are yet to start. Everything is visible in the dashboard. Why do you make calls? You save your time. Then the auditors submit their reports, you have to review. Today, three auditors describing the same scenario will use three different sentences to do so. Then you have to sit, read the report, and try and understand, okay, they all are trying to say the same thing, so let me put it in a common word. It's not required. You standardize. With a digital solution, you can always standardize the auditor's response. So that saves your time again. So at the central level, the head of audit or a central MIS team, you don't require a central MIS team working on audit at all, because the reports are being generated automatically by the system, the dashboard gets updated, you're saving a lot of effort and time there also. So it reduces your operational cost, it reduces the overall time spent in resolving issues, because finding issues in audit is only the beginning. You've got to follow up with the concerned branch teams, make sure that they close the issue. You have to evidence the closure, and then you have to actually acknowledge that, okay, this has been closed according to the requirement. But with a digital solution, you can sit at your place, the closure will be recorded in the system, you can just open your, login, open your system and see that, okay, this issue is closed. You will give you an evidence, you can be satisfied. If not, you reopen. It's all happening by you sitting in your desk. So it brings efficiency all across. With the auditor, with the central team, with the audit team, we are able to save operational costs across the entire audit spectrum. Now let's get into the top line. Many of my friends, when I talk to them about audits improving the top line, they start laughing. That's not the case. Now, I'll give you a small example. I think most of us drive cars, and when is it that we tend to drive fast? I'll give you one or two scenarios. One, when you are sitting in a car with heavy engine, and you can just give it whatever throttle you want to, it will go in high speed. The second scenario, you're sitting in a car where you know that the braking and the safety system is working perfectly well. Which out of the two scenarios will make you drive faster? I bet many of you will agree that it is the second scenario. You know that even if you go at a very, very high speed, you're going to stop when you want. That is exactly what audit is to your business. So when you know that you have a cutting-edge audit team sitting in your office, your confidence to push your business just comes from that fact. Then you are able to, once you are confident, once you have systems in place, you are able to show it to your investors that you're doing your job perfectly. You're able to showcase that to the regulator. That is what allows you to grow. So that's where I say audit actually can power your top line growth. So I think I covered this also. So initially I said that big data, RPI, ML, all of this are buzzwords, and that's not something we should look into. But as I said, when we try and predict 5 years from now where the business is headed, in organizations where we submit handwritten audit reports today or word reports today, the business side is digitalized. So you are expecting the business to run in a Audi, Merc, or even a Lamborghini, and you're expecting the auditor to chase them and see if they are following the process by giving him a hand-pulled card. Is that even possible? So the internal audit has to revolutionize itself in two ways. One, in terms of ability to audit the digital tools that is being used by the business. Second, in terms of enabling themselves to be smarter by using digital tools themselves. And I am trying here to address the second part. How the internal audit team can empower themselves to do better job just by adopting a digital tool themselves. So, yes, audit is going towards all of this. One day we got to use artificial intelligence. Robotic process automation is very much possible in transaction audit. But before we start all of that, let's lay the foundation today by digitalizing the internal audit process. So generally when we talk about digitalizing, we get to talk to 2-3 different kind of people. One set of people who are open to ideas, who just want to digitalize audit also along with the other possibilities. The other set of people, okay, I want to consider this, but I need to discuss, I need to consider, I need to consult. The third set of people, maybe I have not thought about it. And the reasons why people get limited with the the digital journey is that they see audit as a cost point. Audit is always a cost point for them, and therefore it's not worth an investment. There are many other things to do. I have to digitalize this, I have to digitalize that. Then audit comes somewhere in the queue, or maybe the last or the next to last. Digital is too much of a headache. I'm not too tech savvy. I may not be able to manage the cost. But when you are looking at the cost of a digital audit solution, you also need to look at what are the impacts that the efficiency and the effectiveness, both sides add back to you. So you need to consider both the points before you consider the cost of an audit management solution. So I'll just quickly try and take you through one use case. So we did this digitalization with an NBFI in India, I don't want to name, with close to 200 branches and 20 plus auditors. This is the use case that I told earlier. Before they were taking about 15 days to complete one audit and it's reporting. Today it is real time. The moment the auditor is completing an audit, the central system gets updated and the dashboard shows you the results. There was no transparency in terms of the auditor's efforts, and there was no evidence. The auditor could say anything, which can be refuted by the auditee. He will say the auditor is incorrect. That's not the case. With a digital solution, which is enabling you with digital evidencing, which is another concept that we are introducing, which is evidencing your observation through image, video, and audio. No one is able to refute your observations, your auditor's observation. They are backed with truth. It enables, compliance standards like COSO, IPPF. There is a single source of the entire audit information. If your investor wants to have a look at your audit reports, or your own external auditor or the regulator, today, leave alone, you being audited by somebody. If I make a call as a salesperson, I make a call to the head of audit of any organization. He tells me, please don't call me for the next 10, 15 days. I have an audit committee meeting coming up. There's no offense meant, but that's the situation today. He has to prepare for, 15 days to be able to present to an audit committee. But what we are proposing is to work with a digital solution which will allow you to come back from a long holiday and just walk away straight into the boardroom and make a presentation to the audit committee. Just open your dashboard and start talking. It's as easy as that. It is possible. People have started doing that. So then the last point, which I said already, 60% improvement in terms of the auditor's efficiency alone. I'll just recap the advantages that they got. Quicker decisions, tax reduction, the audit report which used to take 15 to 20 days, now it gets submitted real time, and they are able to follow, they are able to bring in a global best practices audit into their organization. I'll just skip this. Why I say don't postpone digitalization of internal audit. The risks are just too many. As I said, there is the risk of financial and reputational loss. There is a regulatory angle, and there is the problem of missing the bus. The world is moving at a very fast pace. If we don't take action today, we may not be able to take it, or it may not be meaningful to take it any time later. That's all I had for you. I tried to, wrap it up as fast as I could, considering the overlap in time that we have. I'm here in Myanmar till Friday. My colleague is staying back. He'll be here for one more week. We have a booth outside. Feel free to get in touch with us. We'll be happy to give you a free consultation on digitalizing internal audit with or without Audit 360. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you very much for the presentation. I have a question. If you already have MFIs, clients in Myanmar and operating in Myanmar language? Thank you.
I have a client in Myanmar, and the product can operate in any language.
But if not operating in Myanmar?
The client in Myanmar is still undergoing the onboarding process. So I can't tell you already that they are working on Myanmar language. But I have tested this in India. India has 22 state languages. We have tested this in multiple languages. The data entry from the auditor's end could happen in any language that can be understood by Google. We don't translate. But the entry is possible. It is captured, recorded, and maintained in whatever language it comes in. So if your mobile has a keyboard with a certain language, you can just enter information with that language, whatever be the language.
Thank you very much, Sandra.
Thank you.
Now we come to the next presenter.